أعوذ بالله بسم الله إنه الإله. أعوذ بالله بسم الله إنه الإله. أعوذ بالله بسم الله إنه الإله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. كافها يا عين صاد. كفيت كل درار يالله بسير لا إله إلا الله. أبلي مرادي كما أوه بسير لا إله إلا الله. يسير يا أسرى كما أوه بسير لا إله إلا الله. على النبي مصطفى الله صلى لا إله إلا الله. صلاة مؤمن بسلام الله بسير لا إله إلا الله. كافها يا عين صاد. كفيت كل درار يالله بسير لا إله إلا الله. هبلي مرادي كما أوه بسير لا إله إلا الله. يسر يا أسرى كما أوه بسير لا إله إلا الله. على النبي المصطفى الله صلى لا إله إلا الله. صلاة مؤمن بسلام الله بسير لا إله إلا الله. كافها يا عين صاد. كفيت كل درار يالله بسير لا إله إلا الله. هبلي مرياري كما أبوه بسير لا إله إلا الله. يسير يا أسرى كما أبوه بسير لا إله إلا الله. على النبي المصطفى الله صلى لا إله إلا الله. صلاة المؤمن بسلام الله بسير لا إله إلا الله. كافها يا عين صاد. كفيت كل درار يالله بسير لا إله إلا الله. هبلي مرادي كما أبوه بسير لا إله إلا الله. يسر يا أسرى كما أبوه بسير لا إله إلا الله. على النبي المصطفى الله صلى لا إله إلا الله. صلاة المؤمن بسلام الله بسير لا إله إلا الله. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد بيداد أنفاس مخلوقتي. اللهم صل على محمد بيداد أشعار المحجودتي. اللهم صل على محمد بيداد حروف الله ودعوتي. اللهم صل على محمد بيداد البداية والنهاية من المخدوم والمخجود إلا بعد الأخبار. وصلى الله على خير خلقه محمد وآله أجمعين. لا إله إلا الله 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 لا إله ilaha illallah, la 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 ilaha illallah, Allah, 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 Yakayum, 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 Yakayum. Yakayum, 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 Yakayum. Yakayum, 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 Kayum, Yakayum, 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 Yahoo, 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 Yahoo. Yahoo, 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 Yahoo. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Let's see, it's a pretty well oft quoted excerpt from scripture. Isa, either Maryam, is reported to have said to do in certain situations, right? For those that follow him. Who? Him. He said that Maryam, Alayhi Salaam, said, "Be ye in the world, but not of it. Be in the world, but not of it. Be in the world, but don't be of it. Be here now, Don't be what's going on outside in the now. Don't be what's going on in the dunya in the now. Don't be affiliated with what's going on down there with the nafs in the now. Don't allow an attachment to Hawa and Shaitan to arise in the now. Don't waste your now. It's the only now you got. Be in the world, but not of it. Be here, but don't be affiliated with all of the things that will take you away from it prematurely. Be here, but don't be affiliated with things that keep you attached to the world and ignorant of the hereafter. Split that word in half and put it back together. That's another video. Be in the world, but not of it. So, using chronological history, there is a verifiable source of a perfect example, which has some of the main things that we here in the diaspora were devoid of when we got brought over here on the good ship Jesus. Our culture, our language, our spirituality. Boom, boom, boom. We had it over there, but we didn't when we showed up over here. So how can I be in the world but not of it? Like y'all taught us growing up, right? But you took from me everything that I would have needed, we would have needed, anyone would have needed in that situation to know how to maneuver while being stuck in this place, in this world, in this flesh, but not having to be of it. Don't be attached to the worldly desire. This is a short burst of boom, here gone in the grand scheme of things. So be in the world, but not of it. I know it's hard. In most cases, it don't seem like it's possible, huh? They got such control over here, yada yada, ain't giving them no power. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi wa huwa al-aliyyul azim. There ain't no strength, ain't no might, no will, no power except for Allah. Government ain't got no power. They can't have any. Be in the world, but not of it. There's an example. There's a facilitator. There's someone who made it happen. Well, let's talk about that real quick. Be in the world, but not of it. In a country that was being split asunder by barbarians, in a country that was attempting to be broken down and systematically dismantled after being stripped of its power figures that held the people together. This country was being subjected by those with the barking dogs. That's a Wakana Hakan Alaina Nasrul Mu'mineen reference. It is incumbent upon us to help the believers. Buy that book by Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba. Turn about 2/3 of the way through it. It'll be on the right-hand page on the bottom. Last stanza. I'm talking about the French. How would he say that in a Qaside? Those with the barking dogs. Barbarians. They were the ones trying to control the entirety of those countries that they divvied up in that Berlin conference. Right? Be in the world, but not of it. So we got a country just being bastardized and trying to be run into the ground by these French. But these people need a place to exist and live and be in accordance with their history, their culture, their spirituality, their customs, their way of life. More ways, four ways, by ways, this ways, that ways. everything that they need to beat and sustain themselves, so that they don't need anything from the outside. Oh, string followed by Nazareth. See where you're going. So they were able to they didn't try, they did. They were able to outmaneuver the French. They were able to outwit the French. They were able to outsmart them. They were even able to outcourt, judge, copy them on paper to a point to where, as of right now, Touba, this blessed city of Touba, is a place within this world that they call Senegal. So we'll apply it this way. There's a world called Senegal, and everybody in this world called Senegal is in that world called Senegal. They're Senegalese. They're in Senegal, not in the world, but not of it. Be in the world, but not of it. These people are in the country called Senegal that was attempted to be corrupted and broken down systematically by the French, but they didn't have to be a part of any of that. They didn't have to bow down to those French. They didn't have to put extra men in the field to grow peanuts to give to the French as a commodity in a trade for them to make any money. They just switched up what they would plant and garden so that they could still sustain themselves and not plant anything that the French wanted in the first place. When they tried to get rid of all of our power figures, when they tried to get rid of all of our holy man, Barkesari Touba, when they tried to get rid of all of our master teachers, Jedi Jeff Bourdon Touba, what people like him had already done was create a city-state called Touba in a world called Senegal, but not a part of it. Touba is in Senegal, but is not really a part of it from that level. The French have no power, no might, no strength, no control over what goes on in Touba. They're in the world but not of it. When people in this blessed city need a mosque on a side of town where there's not a mosque at for the people to read Quran, build Quran study schools, trade schools, to properly raise the kids up with what they need, the people in the area gather the materials, set the base, put up the walls, and build the temple, build the mosque. Astaghfirullah. They build it. Not at any point in time do they ask the French for any materials to build a brick with to put in the mosque. The Baifal are doing that, chanting the entire time, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah. They're in tune with a spiritual system. They have a culture, a society, and a way of life that is so upright, righteous, pious, holy, ethical, moral for the people in the community that no negative influence from the outside can get in it. They are in a world called Senegal, but aren't of the parts of that world called Senegal that are controlled by French colonial rule. There are plenty of other places in West Africa, Africa period, even other countries where it has been done. Barcaça or in Touba. A Touba, a place in a world called Senegal, but not of a place called Senegal from the level of being controlled by those who attempted to colonize it in the first place. So let's take some descendants of some of the very tribes like the Wolof, like the Serer, like the Mandinka, like the Fulani, like the Igbo. Uh, you know how many tribes in Africa? I'll be here all night calling all those out. But here we are a couple hundred years later in another world. Can we do it? Here we are, the descendants of the very people who preserved and protected their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and kept it away from those with barking dogs to a point to where it was available for us today. But now here we are in a new world. Just a couple of years or so ago, we were dealing with people with barking dogs. If a black man or a black woman walked up the wrong side of the street too close to a white person and a cop saw it, he would amp and rile and agitate his dog and sick the dog on the black people for getting too close to the white people. We are dealing with some of the exact same things that were going on back then. Ain't nothing new up under the sun. And there is a perfect blueprint that can be used for a Touba to be built over here in America. Sorry, Sheikh Ibrahim. Sorry, Astaghfirullah. Do not sully the name of that land by calling it America. That land is Al-Murid. That's what Sheikh Ibrahim said, or K. Sheikh Ibrahim. That land is Al-Murid. Al-Murid, the land of the Murid. It's ours. It's our world. And here we were over here dealing with the descendants of other people that showed up again with barking dogs. Brothers and sisters, Sankofa, if it has to be through a Pan-African process upon any teacher that is pointing you back that way, follow that teacher. Study him. Study what he wrote. Listen to his lectures if it's pointing you back that way. Get your indigenous culture and spirituality and bring it forward today, for today, so that tomorrow will be better. So that, inshallah, there will come a point in time in the future in the wilderness of North America to where we won't have to deal with people with barking dogs, to where we won't have to worry about existing in a place where we're stuck in and can't really do much about it. Nah, yeah, you can. You build something so strong within it, so impenetrable that no negative influence can get within it. There's two key words I already spoke of previously that we need in order to do that. Our spirituality, our connection to source, and culture. That's what we have over here isn't culture. It is incumbent upon those who are able to help the believers to help the believers. if you're able to help a believer, but you don't help a believer, astaghfirullah, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. We have to figure out a way to be in this world, but not of it. So that no matter what crap goes on over here, we are not negatively impacted or influenced by it. When we need something done over here, it's enough of us that are gonna come together to do it and make it happen. Bisiri kun fa kun. But we have to study people who actually did it. We can't study someone who didn't. We have to study someone who did it. Not someone who didn't. Someone who did it. If you get on Mr. Google, his cousin Bing, or any other search engine online, there's a book called Fighting the Greater Jihad. And even if you're not a Muslim, I would highly recommend to read. Nothing about someone trying to give the religion to you is in that book at all. However, you'll learn one thing, the truth about the word jihad, and it is the exact opposite of what they told you on the TV. And two, almost step-by-step breakdown on how they were able to create that world within a world that wasn't a part of the world that they were stuck in the first place. We got to build, people. We got to build a place, Touba, a place to where Sankofa can occur, so that we can be in the world and not of it. All it takes is an ashhadu an la ilaha illallah ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, bayat, living master, and a chain to a great master that preserved and protected the teachings that you need today for you for today. Google Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba. Google the book Fighting the Greater Jihad by Sheikh Anta Babu if you're a reader. More of a visual and audio learner. This YouTube channel is about to blow up. I don't know if y'all know, but it's about to be a flood. It's about to be a flood. Get your life jackets. You got just a little bit of time left to get into the voter shariat, because it's going to be so much poppycock coming that you're going to need to already be in it by the time the hawk starts to flow. And when that hawk settles, and Touba is in America, and we built a place to where we can be in the world and not of it. Hopefully you're in that place with us. Astaghfirullah, 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 Allahu Akbar. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يئوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد بيداري أنفاس مخلوقتي اللهم صل على محمد بيداري أشعار موجودتي اللهم صل على محمد بيداري حروف الله ودعوتي اللهم صل على محمد بيداري البداية والنهاية من المقدوم والموجود إلى بعد الأخبار وصلى الله على خير خلقه محمد وآله أجمعين. Allahumma asli ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, reads indeed once a day. Allahumma farij ummati Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma irham ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma asli ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, reads indeed once a day. Allahumma farij ummati Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma irham ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma asli ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, reads indeed once a day. Allahumma farij ummati Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma irham ummata Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Barkay Tuba, Barkay Tuba, Barkay Tuba, Barkay Tuba, Barkay Tuba, Barkay Tuba, Barkay Tuba. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. In alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.